when it becomes an addiction is when it starts to affect the people around you.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I think becomes addiction. But I did my first contest, took third, and in my mind, you're the second loser, dude. Mm-hmm. And it just took me down this dark road. I became obsessed with everything I ate. I was never lean enough. I was never big enough. And after the contest, dude, I pigged out.
Hey guys, it's the No Bullshit, Just BullFit podcast. We've got Travis Brady, personal friend of mine, and mastermind from Brand X. So excited to have you on, brother.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me on here. This is a really cool setup.
Cool vibe, huh?
Do you feel cool when you're on here?
Yeah, I actually asked Tyson if I could sleep here. So.
Did you?
Yeah.
We call this the confidence booster because when we show up, we feel cool.
Yeah.
They make us look cool. So, I mean,
Hey, that's what it's all about. What did Deion Sanders say? Look good, feel good, play good.
amen.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, he would know. Let's go Cowboys.
Cowboys. You a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you?
I mean, I'm starting to feel bad for him after all these years of losing. So
Yeah, it's been kind of sad. Lately, but
you're not one of those Cowboys fans, are you?
oh yeah.
This is the year.
Yeah, let's go them boys. Let's do it.
This is the year. Who do you?
every
Who's your
year.
team?
So, I was a Tom Brady fan. So, I followed Brady
Hell yeah,
wherever he went. So, as of right now, I'm a little bit lost.
Yeah.
I would say I'm probably more a Kansas Chiefs fan than anything. One of my
Okay.
buddies played for him for a little while. So,
Okay, cool.
that's probably where I'm at right now.
Nice.
Yeah. One of the saddest things about being a Cowboys fan is the commentary. They're all Cowboys fans. So every year, most likely to go to the Super Bowl is always the Cowboys. Every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go on and we don't make it. So the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
So, let me ask you, Josh, you're a Cowboys fan. Are you also a Jazz fan? Because, I mean, you're in-
100%. Utah doesn't have a football team, so.
so you get teased by the Cowboys and you get teased by the Jazz
Oh,
every
yeah,
year.
there's the correlation. Yeah, see.
Because I'm a Jazz fan, so I get it.
So did you know that we have an NHL team now?
Yeah, I just saw that move from Arizona to Utah. That was interesting.
Yeah, way cool.
Are you a hockey fan?
Well, I am now, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I think Utah, I think we're starving for it. All the preseason sells, they just had a party the other day, huge turnout. I think we're ready for more sports here in Utah.
Okay, Travis, I want to touch a little bit on your bodybuilding that you've done in the past. You're a super physical guy. You're in great shape all the time. Can you touch a little bit on what your background is there in personal training? And
Yeah, so growing up, I love sports. My dad, we were always tossing the ball, growing up, baseball, football, basketball. Those were the three main sports. And, I was just like most kids want to be a professional baseball player when I was younger. And when I was in Little League, I was the only kid on the all-star team that didn't hit a home run. I was like super skinny, super small. I got teased. Does your mom even feed you, type thing. And so my dad had these old weights. And I just started picking them up one day. And I think when it became very clear that I needed to work out is when my mom comes in and I'm sitting there like trying to get it up and my mom's just like, whoop, and I'm in like 7th grade and I'm like, damn, I need to do something. And, because a lot of boys and a lot of men, we derive confidence from our body and what we do in the world. And so I really struggled. You wouldn't have known this on the outside looking in, but I really struggled with my self-esteem. Did you struggle with your self-esteem or your body when you was growing up?
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. Oh yeah, like 3rd grade, I noticed I was like a little chubby.
Yeah.
And I would start, so I started watching, on TV, like these fitness guys doing aerobics on the beach.
Yeah.
And doing sit-ups and
Yeah.
I noticed.
What about you?
So bad. I still have it. It's all, I think to push yourself hard enough in the gym day after day, you have to have a little bit of body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Maybe a little issue of confidence. Like
Yeah.
outside, people think I'm, maybe a little bit too cocky or too confident.
Yeah.
Inside, I like to cover up, like to cover the muscles.
Yeah.
Just because, that's a daily battle.
Yeah. So, some people I like amaze their confidence. Like they just let it all hang out at the beach and they're just like, I was like, man, I have a lot of respect for you and in some ways because you're just like so comfortable with your body. But yeah, I really grew up struggling. I thought guys just naturally grew pecs the way that women grew boobs. Do you remember the movie Flipper?
Of course.
Flipper?
Yeah. The dolphin, yeah.
I watched that and saw the guys and I was like, I wonder when my pecs are going to grow in, and not knowing that you have to actually work. But anyways, got into baseball, fell in love with the personal training aspect, ended up leading the region in home runs my senior year. And so it was just like a huge epiphany. Like, man, if you fucking really want something and you're willing to work for it, you know, the possibilities are really endless for you. And so right after that, I went right into college as a strength and conditioning coach. My head coach asked me to come back and coach baseball. And I actually enjoyed coaching baseball more than I enjoyed playing baseball.
Very cool.
And that's kind of when I fell in love with the whole coaching thing, you know.
Right on.
And you said it perfectly, like the people that are in the gym, it is almost like at what point in time, and this is a question for you, at what point in time does it become an addiction that's unhealthy?
Yeah. When you get to the point where it affects your daily living. So if you're to the point where you're just so uncomfortable where you don't want to even like go swimming around other people, or you just almost keep to yourself because you don't have that confidence, even though you might look great and you feel great, that's when I think it can become detrimental.
Yeah.
I think up to a certain point, it's helpful. It's going to help you achieve better goals. It's going to help you look better, feel better. But if you don't keep it in check, it can really be detrimental as far as almost turning you into an introvert.
Yeah.
When I think naturally we want to be around people. We want to talk to people. We want to get to know people. And if you don't have that confidence, it's harder to do those things.
Yeah. Did you ever do a contest?
I've never done a contest. No, and one of the reasons is confidence. I don't feel good enough to step on stage.
Yeah. Did you ever do a contest?
Not yet, baby.
You going to do?
Possibly.
Let's
You
go.
would do good with
Let's go.
what's the middle one now? So it's
The physique. Classic physique.
You would do good with. Don't you think you'd do good with the physique?
He's got the build.
Yeah.
He could step on stage and turn some heads.
Oh, thanks, guys.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. So when I did a contest, that's when it went to the overdrive. And I think the answer, what I believe the answer is, when it becomes an addiction is when it starts to affect the people around you.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I think becomes addiction. But I did my first contest, took third. And in my mind, you're the second loser, dude. And it just took me down this dark road. I became obsessed with everything I ate. I was never lean enough. I was never big enough. And after the contest, dude, I pigged out, bro. I went to the pie and I stuffed so many damn calories. And then that night I went home and I threw it all up. And as I threw it all up, in the back of my mind, I was like, damn, you ate all this food and you didn't have to digest all these calories. And then the next day, same thing, dude. I pounded a bunch of food because I was on a strict 3-month diet. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was doing it wrong and I was depriving the body. And that's why I tell people, your body is a monster. At the end of the day, your body's going to get what it wants. You can tease it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months and you can get shape. But if you're not giving your body what it ultimately wants, it's going to rebel on you. And so my body just started to rebel. And 2-3 nights in a row, I puked. And then it almost became like, yeah, maybe this is the way I'm able to maintain my leanness and still eat food. And then after 6 times in the back of my yard throwing up, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? You know, here you are trying to teach fitness and teach people a healthy lifestyle and, you know, have a good relationship with your body. And then here you are in the backyard. And at that point in the time, I was afraid of mirrors. Mirrors were the scariest thing for me because I would just pick myself apart. Do you ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we all do it at some level, but I was my own worst critic to the ultimate level. And that night, I actually faced myself in the mirror, and I actually looked at myself, and I just started bawling, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And so at that point in time, it was a turning point where I really had to start to define, who is Travis Brady without his body? Who is Travis Brady without his friends? Who is Travis Brady without money or cars or whatever we like to define as ourselves? And so that's what really started like into the transformation coaching. Let's help people not just from the outside, let's help them from the inside out.
Very
you know
cool.
what I mean?
Well, the fact that you saw that so early on is it's impressive, a little bit lucky, because I feel like so many people fall into that routine where it just becomes so unhealthy and it becomes almost the new norm for them to almost feel the way they want to feel. Instead of using like a drug or a substance, they're doing something unhealthy like eating those calories and then purging them out of their system.
Yeah.
So the fact that you caught that so soon, was able to realize this isn't healthy, this isn't what I want to be about, and we're able to make that correction and that change is awesome.
Yeah, one of my clients said, you know, we learn through 3 ways. You can learn through being inspired and getting tickled. You can learn by getting punched in the face, or you can learn through getting ran over by the bus. And you're not going to change. You're just not. You're not going to change until the thing you want is less painful than where you're at in your life, unfortunately. And so a low point, I feel like, is what sometimes it has to go through in order things to change, unfortunately. And a low point, and how I would define a low point, is when your own behavior becomes even unacceptable to yourself.
I love that.
Right? Because you hear these people that are addicted to drugs and everyone around them says, hey, you need to change, or I see better for you. It's like, no, until your own behavior becomes unacceptable to yourself, you're just not going to fucking change. You know what I mean? And I think we have these epiphanies in our life where we have that sudden realization, like, yeah, this is no longer acceptable for myself. And part of why we go to the gym is because we have a higher standard for ourselves, right? Like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I can relate. I once got locked into the House of Mirrors in Nightmare on 13th.
Yeah.
Stayed a little too late. I couldn't look in a mirror for like a year.
Really?
It was bad.
What happened?
I got stuck in there
How
all night.
how old were you?
I was like 13,
Oh, really?
12, 13,
Okay.
yeah.
I was gonna laugh because it sounded like this was like a couple of years ago.
Almost.
But that makes sense. That would be pretty traumatizing, actually.
That would
Yeah,
be terrifying.
I go much earlier now to Nightmare on 13th.
Good.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
Being stuck there overnight, that is literally a nightmare.
Is there a way to, compete and still, make it a healthy thing?
You know, I've worked with a lot of people that have gone through it and gone through these crazy body image disorders. I think that you got to come into it having good sustained habits. I think you need to have a nutritionist. If I was doing it all over again, is your meal plan post-event is just as important, if not more important, than your meal plan preparing to be on stage. And if I was doing it all over again, I would say you need to eat tons of fat. Fat is what makes you feel satisfied. So you've been depriving yourself of so many carbs and sugar, and so your go-to is there, and so it spikes up your sugar. Now getting into the science, spikes up your sugar, and then it drops. And then you just get when your blood sugar is on this roller coaster, it's really hard to balance it. And so if I would have been a little bit smarter, I said, eat more fat, take in more fat. So now you don't get to the point where your body's like, F you, I'm going to get whatever it wants. And now it makes it almost near impossible to say no to the donuts and all that other shit. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about what it's like being on stage in front of, hundreds and thousands of people. What is that like, and how can you relate that to personal training and development?
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, especially with those little bodybuilding spandex. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you're like, are people looking at me or are people looking down there?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
With you, they're looking down there.
Are
yeah.
they?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, thanks for making me feel better.
Yeah.
And so, at that point in time, at least for me, you're excited to be out there. I mean, it's nervous. And when you get in some of these big, stages, is the lights are coming down on you and you can't see anyone in the audience.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I would almost rather see the audience and who I'm looking at. Like I was speaking at Red Suit Realtors event a couple weeks ago, and I haven't been on a stage in a few months where all the lights are in and you can't see anyone in the audience. So I'm sharing this message about, my son and what he's taught me about, branding and being a follower versus being a leader. And I can't see anyone in the audience. And it was just really weird to not see, because we connect through our eyes, right?
So going back a little bit, you got your degree in exercise physiology.
Yeah.
You've also obtained 6 mind and body certifications. So first off, for those that don't know anything about exercise physiology or what those certificates are, what are they? And how have those helped you kind of obtain the success that you've had and create such a successful branding company?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for an individual is to take care of your mind, body, and spirit, right? Like I see these people and they have lots of money, but they're unhealthy, or they're not like, I don't know. I just think the greatest wealth is really legitimately our health. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there's a saying that there's this poem, and I'll have to share it on social media. It's awesome. It's called Conversation with God. And the guy asks God, what surprises you most about the man? And he says that we build our wealth, and in the process of building our wealth, we sacrifice our health. And after sacrifice our health, now we sacrifice our wealth to rebuild our health.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought that
Love
was
that.
like, yeah. And so that's always been pretty important to me in my life. And, you know, you're operating better, you feel better, you think more clearly as far as everything goes. So just on so many levels, regardless of what you're into, I think that the most important thing that you could focus on is those things.
Okay, Brand X is coming soon. I'm going to be speaking at it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Brand X, why we're so pumped for it, and what we're going to expect?
My goal is just to bring some of the industry leaders together and highlight the people that have influenced me. And I mean, Josh has influenced me. Drew Manning's going to be a part of it. Andy Elliott, Keaton Hoskins, Dan Clark, Pace Morby, Heidi Powell, Heath Treasure. I mean, the list just goes on, and I just love these guys. They've influenced me and my brand, and I just want to bring all these people together, because when you're around a bunch of other people, you know, you don't realize how much through osmosis you learn through each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So spending time with these individuals that you've mentioned, what are some things that you've learned just talking with them, being around them, that have helped you personally?
So Keaton Hoskins is holding a huge ass event. It's just really cool to see what he's been able to do. I think the most is he inspires me to be a great dad.
Very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Coming from two dads, that's awesome to hear. So with your busy schedule between traveling, speaking, running a company, what do your mornings look like? What is a morning when you wake up? Do you have a specific routine that you go through to help you prepare for the day?
My ideal routine is wake up in the morning, prayer. I do what's called dynamic meditation. Do you know what dynamic meditation is?
Does this have something to do with breathing?
It's basically, it's more of just a central nervous reset. As I'll stand up and I'll just shake my body and you'll ground through your feet, and it just helps shake out everything. So it just helps get my central nervous system firing. Go to the gym, never miss the gym. If I do, it's because it's an emergency. Breakfast, then it's right into the day right after that. So I start my day a little later. I probably rock like to the gym, eat, everything taken care of, ready to rock by 10:30 to about 6 or 7, and then I have the rest of the night, and then back in bed by 11, 12, up by 7, so I get my 7-8 hours of sleep. So
Hey, why don't we do a little bit of we'll switch directions slightly here. You've been taking Bodacious. How have you been feeling on Bodacious?
I love it, and I think I told you this. I was addicted to energy drinks. Later in the day is when I would do the energy drinks, but now I just mix up another pre-workout and drink that. And I'm getting water, it's without all that other shit, and it really helps my focus throughout the rest of the day.
Okay, what's different about Bodacious is that we have a nootropic blend in it that does make you feel good throughout the day. We have choline, bitartrate, and tyrosine. And why do you feel better throughout the day, Todd?
So, you know, we've talked about it in the past, but having these specific ingredients in your system, they don't work quickly. Too often we want that quick rush, that feeling, that energy, which you're going to get from BullFit, but some of the ingredients like the L-tyrosine and the choline, they're going to stay in your bloodstream for a little bit longer. As they cross the blood-brain barrier, it's going to take time. So you're getting, in a sense, an extended release of those neurotransmitters. So anything from dopamine to norepinephrine to acetylcholine. So you've got memory, mood, motivation. You're getting that extended release. So when it's safe, you're not getting these ups and downs throughout the day. And then along with those, which makes a huge difference, you don't have any artificial stuff. You know, we're starting to learn more about what these artificial sweeteners and these colors, what they do to the body. And even though they're affecting the gut, they're affecting a lot more. Everything starts in the gut. And that's brain health, muscle, fat, everything starts in the gut.
I don't think we talk about that enough.
I agree with you.
I think when I'm working with nutritionists and helping them brand and they're not talking about gut or stomach, I was like, okay, we need to do more research here.
Absolutely.
Because if you do, you go down the tunnel long enough, you're going to end in the gut.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for so long, like, I mean, I'm not a fan of sucralose, and it is in just about any kind of 0 calorie, 0 sugar, you know, supplement. And it was all we had available. And so I kind of just, this is the way it is. And for me personally, as soon as I stopped taking those specific supplements that had those artificial sweeteners and colors, it was a game changer for my gut. I added in some better diet, but I mean, I kid you not. Like, you think, well, it's just a small amount, it's not going to do anything. But when you're taking it on a daily basis, and sometimes multiple times in the day, When you can get your gut under control, I mean, we're talking gains in and out of the gym, game changer.
Yeah.
Why does the collagen help with the stomach?
So the easiest way to think of collagen for the stomach, and especially the lining of the stomach and the intestines, if you guys have ever heard of like leaky gut. So what happens is little things can leak through our gut and actually get into our bloodstream, whether that's food, so macronutrients, micronutrients. And when that happens, it causes a pro-inflammatory response. So that's inflammation where we don't want it. It's going to affect our mood. It's going to affect the way we think, the way we act. It's going to affect our fat storage and our fat burning potential, along with our muscle building. So when you bring in collagen, think of it, easiest way to think of it is it's plugging those little holes that can take place. And so when we can plug those holes, seal them up, you're going to be able to keep those nutrients where we want them, absorb them properly after we break them down. We don't cause that pro-inflammatory response. And instead we're utilizing that nutrition, those micronutrients, macronutrients for building muscle, burning fat, hormone production, neurotransmitters. So the easiest way, it plugs those little holes in our gut so that way we can utilize those ingredients better.
Hey, Travis, you want to give us the dates for Brand X and how people can find tickets to Brand X?
Yeah, so reach out to this guy on Instagram, Joshua Del Graves, and you have a discount code that will get them up to 50% depending on which ticket you want to come to, but it's brandxexpo.com, September 6th and 7th. We got 16,000 square feet, heart of Phoenix Convention Center. It's beautiful. We have some of the most amazing people, and the whole goal of the event is to get you connected. Partnerships, collaborations is more important in business than ever before, and everyone that's coming, I'm going to really go above and beyond before the event, during the event, after the event, get connected. Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited. Awesome. We still looking for any people that want to be a part of it as far as a sponsor goes. So
that's awesome.
Sounds
and then
awesome.
Travis, where can people find you? Social media, what do you got?
Active on all of them. I think where most people like to hang out these days is Instagram. So Travis Brady Brands, all one word, Travis Brady Brands. Shoot me a message. I have a free brand blueprint that literally walks you through step by step on how to build a brand and some of the things that we've talked about here today.
Cool.
Completely free. And then I would love to have you guys on the podcast, The Story Behind the Brand, too.
We would love to be on that.
Yeah, because I've enjoyed the conversation today.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Travis. I learned so much from you every time we're together. It's just such high vibes. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.